Yeah.
It's time, without further ado, to introduce you to our brand new map coming out in OB49, BRIGHTMARSH.
Yep.
So guys, just talk about this map. I'll leave it up to you to decide how you want to take it, but
sure.
Just give us the lore, give us the history, give us the design style, everything. We want to know it all.
Yeah. So the initial visual goal for this map was to really create just a small, well-crafted and cared-for village inside of a bright and colorful marsh. We really wanted to make more of an exotic botanical garden rather than a gloomy swamp. So as we jump in here, we'll see that the map, it looks overgrown, but it's well maintained at the same time. There's a lot of plants, a lot of gardening, a lot of flowers that just really add to the mood that we were trying to set, which is just happy and cheerful.
It's beautiful, and Jordan, you've been working on this map forever. Seriously, forever.
Yeah. Coming from the design side, I was I was really involved in playing a lot of Victor, a lot. So at the time it was just a lot of Victor, a lot of Skies, a lot of Andraxis. So when I put this map together, it was solely for those kinds of characters.
Wow.
Coming from a Call of Duty background and a lot of shooters, and I felt like we needed to make a map that was more on the ground kind of thing, and a lot of tight quarters, intimate battles, and
where aim is really going to come down to
That's
it.
Right.
Positioning. We've played this and play tested quite a bit. Positioning can be very important.
Very
but it is really, you can get yourself caught up in hey, who hits 3 shots first, right? And that for Androxus is going to be the difference. Just to mention, that's the new weapon skin coming out in the Overgrown chest. So if you want to get your hands on that, I certainly will be. Eye of the Tiger right there. That thing is beautiful. But kind of walk us through this and narrate what he's seeing and where we're going in game here.
Sure. So one of the things we were really excited to do for this map was to finally really be able to tie a specific map with a specific champion.
Yeah.
And so BRIGHTMARSH is actually Pip's hometown.
Oh.
Yeah. So that.
Give me more. Give me more. Lore.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun to actually start tying in some lore to these maps. So. The Pip species are actually there. Yeah, it's a peaceful and just family-based society. They kind of are secluded and keep to themselves. However, Pip is somewhat of an anomaly. He's an orphan. He's really the only one that has kind of expressed interest in leaving the marsh. So kind of keeping these things up there. You see the little drowning Pip sign. So keeping those things in mind really allowed us to be creative and create just a more interesting environment.
And Jordan, when you were designing this map, did you know the theme of it yet, or were you kind of taking that in stride with kind of saying, I want this to work for these types of champions, though I know this is a reflection of what Pip's kind of come up through in his past?
Yeah. We had a list of maps that we wanted to work on. One of them happened to be a marsh, and I kind of took on that role and made a map out of it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I've actually never seen this area of the map.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite parts. It's a nice little flank route.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right by the spawn, so if you're defending the area, you can kind of get a nice little vantage point on the enemy.
Jordan, Victor can't get there. No. So I don't know what you're saying. You designed this for Victor.
But he can go in and out of these rooms, though.
I designed this map for you, buddy, but you're going to die if you try to get over there.
Yeah,
Let me just
put
tell
a lot of love
you can go in the room, though. You can go in the room.
For the Victor players, like Stolzy and those guys,
Yeah, well, Androxus seems to be kind of well at home here. He's got the dashes kind of get him perfectly onto that ledge. And he can go back. He can go the other way.
In and out of those rooms.
And so where do you think most of the fighting is going to take place here? You can get even up on this upper area as well and kind of zone out. Do you know any other kind of styles of maybe play that you've seen really work well on this map or don't work well?
I know for sure that, when using these flanks, you're going to run into other flanks and a lot of damages.
Yep.
So you got to be really careful. You can't just, go in gung-ho into a capture point. Hopefully the idea is to really separate out the fights, and then with damage versus damage, flanks versus flanks, and then you got the tanks and support going straight to the capture point, try to fight in there.
Yeah.
Very closed off, and then So yeah, there's a lot of back and forth. We play tested. We put this in a test map queue, and what I've found is that it was just a lot of back and forth, that tug of war kind of action, which I really like. You know, hopefully I got that across in this map.
I think it did, and you know, just looking at the art one more time, you know, Anthony, I kind of want to ask, and we've seen most of it now, so, you know, I just want to pick your brain just a little bit more before we move on. I know people are just excited to play it. You know, look at the detail here. You know, taking a map from what it is in the test map queue, a lot of players experience that now. It's nothing, you know? I mean, it's shapes. It's and then putting this kind of history, this style, this art to it, what is that kind of process like, starting from the ground?
Well, we found that really tying in the character to a map brought all kinds of questions to mind, right? Like, what would a species of pips do? Like, what would their village really revolve around?
Yeah.
Just what do they do here? So all these questions just brought up all these cool ideas, and you can see we really tie it in here. We got little pip doors, got portraits of, you know, probably important figures.
Potion.
And, yeah, there's a building. We all know that Pip loves his potions, right?
Yeah.
So one of the
He's selfish with them.
Yeah. One of the buildings that we created is kind of like a distillery. So the idea is that they are also this society is also they're alchemists, right? They're taking from the marsh, they're cultivating, harvesting these medicines and these ingredients, and we really thought that it was a good thing to tie into Pip.
Well, this map is absolutely gorgeous, and this is ready to go. OB49, guys.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining. Any closing thoughts before we kind of head off into the next section?
No, I just got to give props to the